Friends, we are very happy to inform you that e-modules are prepared for B.Ed program at Telangana by the School of Education, Osmania University under Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme MHRD New Delhi. It's indeed our pleasure to share with the teacher educators and the prospective teachers and get maximum benefit out of it. It's a first of its attempt by us. We continue to add many more such lessons to share with you all.
Namaste students, welcome back to Osmania University online classes. My name is Dr. Katyayani. I am from NSR College of Education. We are dealing with the unit phonetics. In this our topic is vowels. So through this lesson you will understand the difference in articulating vowels and consonants. You can distinguish pure vowels and diphthongs. You will understand how these pure vowels and diphthongs are articulated. Now we keep writing English and we also speak English. So when we are writing, what are we using? We are using alphabets. When we speak, we are making use of phonemes. So these are the A, B, C, D, E alphabets we use. How many alphabets are there? We have 26, right? And out of these, 5 of the letters in the English alphabets are vowels. What are those? A, E, I, O, U. And the remaining 21 letters are consonants. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. U is vowel sound, V is consonant, W, X, Y, Z. So when we are speaking, we are making use of phonemes. What is a phoneme? Phoneme is a distinct unit of sound in a language, and when we write this we use phonetic alphabet. You will be learning about this in the later lessons. So we have 44 phonemes in English. There are 44 sounds or phonemes in English language. These are divided into 2 categories. They are vowels. How many vowels do we have? We have 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds. So these are the consonants. You will be learning about these consonants in the next lesson. You can look at the picture of consonants. This is the table. Pin, P and pin, B and bat, T and tin, D and dog, F and 5, V and van, Th and thin, the in that, Ma and man, Na nose, Ha half, church, germ, king, G gun, Sa say, Jew ship, measure, La and leg, Ra and run, walk water, Es sound. So these are all consonant sounds. Now when you see how we articulate these consonants and how we articulate, what is the difference in this when we are articulating the vowels and consonants? When we articulate consonants, what is happening? Consonants are mostly articulated via closure or obstruction in the vocal tract. Airflow is stopped at some point and then released, whereas vowel sounds are produced with a relatively free flow of air. That is, active articulator comes close to the passive articulator and the air comes out. We will discuss about that detailedly later. So when we see the phonemes or vowel sounds, we have 20 vowels, and out of these 12 are pure vowels and 8 are diphthongs. And all the vowels are voiced sounds. What do we mean by voiced sounds? Vocal cords are held together loosely and you can feel that vibration here. You learnt in the previous lesson organs of speech that in the glottis we have vocal cords, and while articulating the vowel sounds, their vocal cords are loosely held, and then you can hear the vibration here, E, U. Okay. Now you have learned that we have 5 letters A, E, I, O, U, whereas we have 20 vowel sounds. What are those? You will be learning about that, but are you wondering why? How come we have 5 letters and 20 sounds? Let us see one example. If you take A in the written script and you see how it is occurring in ant, you listen to the sound ant. A sound apple, A sound aeroplane. You can listen, it's the difference. A is different from this sound, it is a diphthong. Ask, again the sound is different. Amazing, again the vowel sound is different. Cake, again we have diphthong here. Amazing, amazing. So you can see 2 A's occurring here in amazing, but the sounds are different. So now you listen to the song, then you understand better how these 5 letters are occurring as 20 phonemes, 20 vowel sounds. Listen to the song. We are vowels, A, E, I, O, U. We are 5 letters, but 20 phonemes. Listen, listen, listen to us, the front vowels. E, ink, India, English. E, eat, eagle, east. A, enter, emit, edge. A, can, cat, ant. We are 5 letters, but 20 phonemes. Listen, listen, listen to us, the back vowels. A, ought, army, father. A, cot, dot, hot, stop. A, cause, caught, bought. O, put, should, could. O, pool, cool, food. We are 5 letters, but 20 phonemes. Listen, listen, listen to us, the central vowels. A, cut, shut, mud. O, turn, pearl, curl. A bow, amount, around. We are 5 letters, but 20 phonemes. We are monophthong sometimes, diphthong sometimes. Listen, listen, listen to us, the diphthongs. A, cake, bake, shake. I, kite, might, height. I, toil, coil, soil. O, robo, show. Ow, how, now, down. Ear, fear, clear, dear. Air, taste, haste, waste. Oar, pure, cure, tour. We are vowels A, E, I, O, U. We are 5 letters, but
20 phonemes.
So students, did you enjoy the song of the vowel sounds? Now let us see the organs of speech. You have already seen this in the previous lesson, and here you can observe that we have the hard palate, velum. Look at the picture. So you have velum or soft palate and hard palate in the roof of the mouth, and the tongue, front part of the tongue and middle part of the tongue and back part of the tongue. These three are the active articulators. So the tongue at some point, so it raises and comes close to either to hard palate or behind the hard palate or soft palate, and the vowel sounds are articulated. So what are the active articulators here? The tongue part is the active articulator, sometimes front part, central part or back part, and passive articulators are hard palate, central part between hard palate and soft palate, and soft palate or velum. This is a vowel quadrangle. That means when you can see the picture, so the lower part and the upper part, this is vowel symbols are located at the approximate position for the tongue. So this is the vowel quadrangle. So all the vowels are voiced and back vowels are produced with lip rounding, while the front vowels E, A or A, while articulating these, the lips are not rounded. And even the voice length also changes. Vowels are longer when followed by voiced consonants or when they occur as the final sound. Vowels are shorter when followed by voiceless consonants. Listen to the example, hit, hit. You feel the difference, and you can listen to the difference in articulation as well. So look at this picture. This is the cardinal vowel scale, and these are the cardinal vowels. This was developed by Daniel Jones, and we have 8 primary cardinal vowels and 8 secondary cardinal vowels. And in English, most of the sounds are close to the first primary cardinal vowels. So what are these cardinal vowels? These are the reference vowels. So these are only for reference. They are not related to any language. So we can compare our any vowel sounds with reference to these cardinal vowels. So let us take one example, like when you are talking about pit or peel, we can refer to these with reference to the first one, E. You can see the first primary cardinal vowel. So when we talk about end, egg, so when we talk about this, we can refer to this second cardinal vowel, primary cardinal vowel, and then it is compared, the length is compared where it is occurring, compared to the cardinal vowel, English language vowel is described. So that is the function of the cardinal vowels. They are for the reference purpose. And so you have understood that cardinal vowels are a set of language independent reference vowels. There are 2 subsets of cardinal vowels, primary and secondary. Primary are numbered 1 to 8, and out of these 1 to 5 are unrounded and 6 to 8 are rounded because they are the back vowels. Now let us come to the English vowels. So here you can see the pure vowels. Look at this picture, E like in sheep, E in ship, U good, U shoot, A like in bed, teacher, as the last final, or above as the first sound, bird, and door, cat, a sound, up, far, caught or on. So these are the pure vowels. What do we mean by pure vowels? How many are there? We have 12 pure vowels. You can see in this vowel scale these 12 vowels and where they are located. So that means these are occurring in this position. So this is the tongue position. In this picture you can see that. We will describe these in detail. Now when we talk about this, what are we discussing about? So we mention the active articulator, passive articulator, and also the lip position, how the lips are, whether lips are rounded or unrounded. So while describing every vowel sound, we use these three: passive articulator, active articulator, and how lips are. Okay. Now let us see E sound: eat, seat, treat, clean, tea, key. And the second sound is E: it, sit, trip, river, shiver, a, pen, head, red, measure, fence, clever. A sound like in cat, hat, match, latch, habit, practice. So all these are front vowels. Now let us describe these front vowels. So what do we mean by front vowels? Front part of the tongue is raising and coming close to the hot palate. Now when we articulate E like in tree, front part of the tongue is raising and it is coming close to the hot palate and the lips are unrounded. So it can be said as front close unrounded vowels. Now when we talk about E like in tip, it is centralized front unrounded vowel just above the half close position. That means not the front tongue, but rear part of the front tongue is raising and coming close to the hot palate. And where is it coming? Just above the half close position. And when we say A like in end, it is also front part of the tongue is raising and lips are unrounded, and it raises, tongue raises to the position of, it comes in between half close and half open. When we say mat, you look at the picture, the vowel scale, you can understand that, and also you articulate, you say the word, then you can feel that. At, cat, mat. So it is front part of the tongue is raising and coming to the position of just below the half open position, and lips are unrounded. That's why we can say that it is front unrounded vowel just below the half open position. Now let us look at the back vowels. Back part of the tongue is raising, and what are these vowels? U like in pull, could, would. U longer vowel, pool, cool, wool. Like in caught, dot, not, rot. And for the same you have a little longer one, caught, fought, bought, caught. This is also a longer vowel. Father, hard, card, asked, arm. So all these five are back vowels, back part of the tongue is raising. In the vowel scale you can notice where they are located. Look at this picture. Now let us describe this. When we describe oo, it is, already we have said that it is back vowel, back rounded. Whenever we articulate back vowels, usually they are rounded. Of course it also depends upon the phonetic environment. Now it is back rounded vowel, lips are rounded, and where is the tongue coming close? It is just above half close position. It is coming to that position when it is articulated. And pool, oo. So back part of the tongue is raising and coming close to the soft palate. All the back vowels are articulated and they come close to the back part of the tongue is raising and coming close to the soft palate or velum. So oo, back part is raising and coming close, is almost close. We know that when we articulate vowel sounds, they just come close and the air comes out through the gap. So it is back close rounded vowel, lips are rounded. Ooh, you can hear that. You say the words pool, cool, wool, and a sound. This is a short vowel and back part of the tongue is raising towards soft palate and lips are rounded and above open position. Tongue is rising to the position of above open. So we can say that back rounded vowel above open position. Now say the words caught. You can feel how your tongue is raising. Caught, dot, not, rot. Now a little longer one. It is also, you say the words bought, back part is raising, right? Caught, fought, bought. This is a long vowel. Caught. Back rounded vowel, lips are rounded between half close and half open. Now you see the it is, how are the lips? Open, it is completely open and lips are unrounded. Back open unrounded vowel. Father, heart, caught, ask. When it goes to open position, lips are becoming unrounded. Father, heart, caught, ask, arm. Now let us listen to these words. Turn, curd, curl, burn. A sound in cut, hut, love, tub, tumble. And this is another weak vowel, above. It occurs, wherever it occurs, usually there is no stress on that syllable. Again, fur as the last sound, her. So weak forms are used here of these grammatical words. Fur, her. Then how do we describe this? You look at this vowel scale and you will understand where they are located. While uttering these words, examples also, we can observe our tongue where it is occurring. Now, heard. So where is it occurring? Central, it is central part. So we have seen the front vowels, we have seen the back vowels. Now the central part of the tongue is raising and it is coming close to the, just beside or behind the hard palate. So the position in between hard palate and soft palate. So the tongue is raising, central part of the tongue is raising to that position. So that is why we can say that central unrounded between half close and half open. It is raising to the level of half close and half open. Turn, pearl. Say the words and observe your tongue. Pearl, curl. Now let us see another vowel, cut. This is also a central vowel. Central part of the tongue is raising and the lips are unrounded and it is just above open. So we can say that it is central unrounded vowel just above open. Say the words and observe your tongue. Cut, shut, mud. Now let us see the weak vowel, another which occurs usually whenever we use weak forms. About. Central, it is central unrounded vowel just below half open position. Above, amount, around. So it is raising just below half open position. So we have seen the front vowels, we have discussed about the back vowels and now the central vowels. Now let us move on to the diphthongs. What are diphthongs? So while articulating diphthong, the tongue takes the position required for a certain vowel and then moves or glides towards the position required for the articulation of another vowel. You listen to these words and you can observe. Here, soil, so ear, e, o, in when we say soil, o, e. So it is, the tongue is taking the position required for e and then moving towards a, here. And when we say soil, it is taking the position of a, soil, o, and then it is moving towards e. So it takes a position required for one vowel and glides towards another position. That is why we call that as diphthong. You can look at this picture. So in this picture you can observe that we have 8 diphthongs and out of these 8, 3 diphthongs are closing to a position of a sound. Ear, here, tourist, tour, hair. So the closing vowel sound is a, whereas in 3 more like in boy, kite, wait. So in these 3, in the 3 diphthongs end with e sound. Wait, boy, my. Now we have 2 more diphthongs which end with, like in cow, you can see o sound. Show, cow. So let us describe these, each one, let us discuss about this very detailedly. This here in this picture, you can see the arrow mark. The arrow mark indicates the movement from one position to another, where it is starting and where it is ending. So let us see the examples of like play, clay, place, haste, taste. So in this diphthong occurs as a glide from a front unrounded vowel just below, half close to, and it is moving towards which position? It is moving to a centralized front unrounded vowel just above half close. So don't get confused. So it is moving from one place to one position to another position. Whereas when we articulate monophthongs or pure vowels, the tongue comes and raises at only one point, like E. Now here it is moving from one point to another. Now let us see the examples of I. Bite, glide, buy, height, I. So how is the movement of the tongue? So the diphthong is described as a glide from front open unrounded vowel And where is it moving to? Gliding to? Gliding to a centralized front unrounded vowel just above half close. Kite, height. Can you see that? How it is gliding from one position to another. Now let us see oil, soil, boil, coil, rejoice, ointment, point. It can occur as the initial, middle or at the end. It is articulated as a glide from a back rounded vowel between open and half open, and it glides to a position, a centralized front unrounded vowel just above the half close position. Let us move on to these two vowels where it ends with oo sound, like in go, no, boat, goat, over. So here how is it moving? How is the tongue moving from one position to another? This is a glide from a central unrounded vowel between half close and half open to a centralized back rounded vowel just above the half close position. So like in cow also the same. During the articulation of this also it moves towards just above half close position. So in show it is moving from central unrounded vowel to, so lips are unrounded from between half close and half open to above the half close position. Now let us see cow, house, cloud, crowd, frown, out. So it can occur as the initial, middle diphthong also, and in the articulation of this diphthong, how are we articulating? Cow. So the glide begins at a back open position with unrounded lips to a centralized back just above half close position. For show, o, and cow, o. So both they are ending to the position of just above half close position, and lips are rounded towards the end for both of these. Now let us see these three diphthongs which end with the weak sound clear, e, and moving towards a, clear, fear, ear, fierce. So when we articulate this, what is happening? The diphthong occurs as a glide from a centralized front unrounded vowel just above half close, and where is it moving to? It is moving to a central unrounded vowel between half close and half open position. And if it occurs as a final sound, how is it articulated? The glide is in the direction of central unrounded vowel just below the half open position. That is the difference. So when it occurs like that, it is moving, instead of half close and half open, it is below the half open position. Fear. Now let us see pure, pure, cure, sure, during. So how do we articulate this? How is the movement of the tongue position? So the glide takes place from a centralized back rounded vowel just above half close to central unrounded vowel between half close and half open. If it occurs as the final sound, again there is some difference. The glide is in the direction of central unrounded vowel just below the half open position. All these three, like in fear, ear, tear, air, pure, over, the ending position is a sound. So if it occurs as the final sound, then it is just below the half open position. Otherwise it is, how is it? It is between half close and half open. Now say the words pure. Can you feel the tongue position? Now let us move on to the air, tear, fair, care, share. How is it articulated? Now tear, say the word and feel. How is the glide taking place from one position to another? Yes, the glide takes place from a front half open unrounded vowel to a central unrounded vowel between half close and half open. But if it occurs as a final sound, then again the glide is in the direction of central unrounded vowel just below the half open position. So students, what is the difference in the articulation of monophthongs and diphthongs? Look at this picture. You can see in the first one monophthongs, right? The tongue is raising at one position only. E, only at one position, whereas in diphthongs, you look at this, the second picture, this is the vowel scale of diphthongs, and here you can see the movement from one place to another. Ear, it's the arrow indicates the movement. It is starting at E position and moving towards O position, central position. In the same way, UA, the arrow indicates the movement from to the central position. So diphthongs occur when they move from one position to another position. The glide takes place. Whereas in monophthongs, the tongue raises towards the active articulator, raises towards the passive articulator only at one point, and the vowel is produced, it is articulated. Whereas in diphthongs, it is raises, tongue raises at one position and moves to another direction. So that is why a glide takes place, and we call them as diphthongs. So students, we have discussed about the difference in the articulation of vowels and consonants, and also you have understood the difference in articulating vowels, pure vowels and diphthongs, how the glide takes place from one position to another. Thank you students.